I always tell people that the way I try to think about things is bandwidth. I try to think about, I pretend there's a number. Let's say that number is 100. I have 100 units that I have for my information, for what I'm allowed to think about, what I can use my brain for. Anytime I put stuff in there that's nonsense, anytime I put stuff in there that's negative or unproductive, or at least unless it's funny.
Yeah,
anytime I'm putting stuff in there, that's taking away from all my other stuff. And one thing that people need to understand is that one of the things your brain will do to protect yourself from, whether it's the pressure of success or succeeding or accomplishing things, your brain will, when you're presented with the stress of trying to accomplish something, it will put extra emphasis on all these stupid things in your life to distract you.
Yes.
And it almost like protects you from the stress of having to do the work. And you see people sabotage their lives, sabotage their careers. You see it happen to artists, musicians, fighters, comedians. Sure. It's a normal thing that we do just as human beings. You get freaked out by what you know you should do, so you spend more time paying attention to the things that you shouldn't do.
Yeah, man.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage. And
it's very real.
Very real. And based, at least my own assessment of it, it's based on the delusion that the feeling of procrastination is less painful than the feeling of doing your work. And it's the opposite. Like procrastination, you spread it out across your life, like your weeks. You just spread this nice, shitty coating of procrastination, mild anxiety, general like sense of like, oh, I'm a piece of shit because you're not doing it. And then when you finally get around to doing it, you realize the thing you didn't want to do is so fun most of the time.
Most of the
engaging, interesting, but if nothing else, you feel so much better because you're finally taking care of it.
Yeah.
And you realize all that anxiety, all that, if you somehow could quantify the amount of anxiety you're going to feel procrastinating versus the amount of anxiety you're going to feel doing something, you know what I mean? It's exponentially more anxiety from procrastinating.
Yes.
So the logic's all wrong. It's a fucked up way of dealing with the problem. As a master procrastinator, you know, I feel like I can talk about this because like having identified, it always feels better when you do it. Always. Then your brain will orient, I think, in a more healthy way. I hope mine does eventually.
No, I think also, Duncan, you know, you're so busy. And you're so busy with your family, and you're so busy with your podcast, you're so busy with your comedy tour. It's like, it's very hard to allocate time to do stuff. And one of the ways I have it easy is I have a gym right here. I have a gym at home. I make it easy so that I do it.
Right.
And I have to do it. If I don't do it, I don't feel good. I don't think good. I don't act good.
Right.
It's better for me. It's medicine. And so I take my medicine, and then I'm Happy Joe. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm everybody's friend. I want to give everybody hugs.
Right.
I want to be nice. I want to see everybody succeed and grow, and I'm not in my own head.
Right.
I'm free.
Well, I mean, it's a lot easier for me to like level up in Diablo 4 than go to the gym.
Right.
Infinitely easier. And my brain does not produce the same level of pleasure leaving the gym. But what is it, like 30% of that? And I think sometimes if you are particularly weak, you'll just settle for that. You're like, you know what, that's fine. I'll enjoy that. And then it just goes on and on. You know, you need to have undisciplined people on your show sometimes because I'm always struggling with it. You know what I mean? And you're like disciplined. But I am like, it's an aspiration. And so I'll get going to the gym. I'll start working out. I'll feel better than I've ever felt in my life. You know what got me to the gym, by the way? I started going, the last podcast, you described how you feel not working out. And I'm like, that's the last 2 years of my life. Like and then, you know, so I'm like, fuck, I got to do this. And like, you know, walking out, it's simultaneously wonderful and kind of sad. Because you walk out and you're like, I feel so good. Like,
Yeah.
this is all I just had to do this.
Yeah.
It wasn't painful. It's fun.
Yeah.
And now I feel great. And you're like, fuck, man, 2 years. 2 years I went off of it. That's scary. When you're, you know what I mean? When you're oscillating between those two modes, you know, and you don't want to get stuck in the devil's mode, but you know it's a possibility. You know, you somehow glued yourself to this one. Like you don't seem to really like fall off. You know, did you at first?
No, it's necessary for me, and it's necessary for me for mental health, and also I don't want my body to fail. Like I've seen people my age that don't exercise and their shoulders don't work and their knees are fucked and they're always tired and like that's not a good way to go through life. If you want to enjoy life, you want to have as much energy as possible. And the best way to have as much energy as possible is to be really fit. Be really fit and healthy and eat good foods and take a lot of vitamins. Take supplements. Eat healthy food. Try to stay the fuck away from processed garbage. Don't drink too much.
Right.
Don't do anything bad for your health because your energy depends upon this physical form.
Yeah.
And it's literally made out of what you put in it.
Yeah.
It's literally made out of that, both with effort and with food.
Right.
And with sleep. The effort that you take to sleep.
Right. I mean, it's cynical to say, but probably like 70% of people to some degree are stuck in the gravity well of whatever those things you do. It's a gravity well. That's that, because that's the thing, man. You know, climbing out of that fucking hole is the hardest part. But that hole has its own gravity, and the gravity is around addiction to just the stuff you were describing. You're addicted to drama, you're addicted to eating shitty food, you're addicted to like staying up late and doom scrolling or whatever. It's a gravity. And so then you got to crawl out of it to get into that other place.
Yeah.
And you get in that other place, and generally the first thing you think is, God, this is incredible. But then the more you stay in that place, you kind of forget how bad it felt in the other place. And that's where the pattern can, like, you get sucked back into the gravity well. You don't like stay steady in the discipline.